into 2026 World Cup qualifiers, the writing was visible on the wall that the days of Finidi George as the chief coach of the Super Eagles were numbered. But the world of sports was taken by surprise when Finidi resigned his position on Saturday. This came 2 days after the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, announced that he was shopping for a foreign technical advisor for the team. A 1-2 defeat to Benin Republic in Abidjan after escaping a home defeat to Bafana of South Africa with a 1-1 draw in Uyo in the qualifiers prevented Finidi from having a glorious reign as a manager like he achieved as a player. Indeed, not all fantastic players become good managers. Gentlemen, yes, not all fantastic players become good managers. But was Finidi George given a chance?
Well, Finidi George can't get a kind of quote-unquote chance that some will expect. That is for him to play more matches.
That a foreign coach would have gotten?
No. Okay. Not necessarily. We've also fired coaches before.
As early as this?
If there is a need for it. Because the time Finidi George was appointed happens to be a very crucial time. We are preparing for the World Cup. And the World Cup is a series of matches, qualifying for it, for the final. Now we're in a tight situation because we have 6 more matches to go. If we don't win those 6 matches convincingly, and those are the top, they also are able to get a point here and there, Nigeria is gone. Last World Cup, we were not there. So no Nigerian is going to forgive the NFF for us not to be at this World Cup. The last World Cup was a big show for everybody who went. And so should it be for Nigeria. So it would have been for Nigeria if we had been at that World Cup. It would have done a lot for us. Even if not every Nigerian will gain from it monetarily. At least that is one thing that makes us happy, football. It unites us. And people want to see us in the World Cup. I also agree that Finidi should have gotten a little more time. But it's impossible where we are now. Especially when you look at the last 2 matches. How technically deep did handle that match? Because you expected that, say, after going a goal up, at least for the first time in a while, we've never gone a goal up.
But is it about the coach? Or are we saying if the foreign coach they're bringing now loses or draws his first game, would sack him as well?
No, it's also about the coach. Because you expect that the bench will be able to read that match properly. You expect that the bench will be able to read the match properly. That was the difference between Nigeria and Benin Republic in that match. We had good players on the bench. Some that we feel, he might not feel that way. He might not feel that way. He might feel that he has done his best. But a lot of us feel that those who were on the bench had more to contribute to that match than even some of the changes he made.
All right. Bikio, Finidi George has resigned. How honorable is that?
I think he came under tremendous pressure, and he had no choice. And I think it was a big mistake to make Finidi the coach of the national team. I thought that someone like Emmanuel Amuneke would have been given that job because Amuneke is better tested as a coach. Amuneke coached the Nigerian under-17 team to win the World Cup. Amuneke coached Tanzania to qualify for the African Cup of Nations after 30 years of trying to qualify without success. So at least you cannot say that Amuneke does not have the track record of success to give him that job over Finidi, who does not really have the credentials. The fact that you are coach of the B side of a club in Spain does not mean that you can be a good coach of the national team of Nigeria. Which national team have you coached before? At least Amuneke can point to the one that he coached. So I felt it was a mistake, and perhaps the process was rigged, and then Finidi got the job. Out of 4 matches, Finidi lost 2. He drew 1 and won 1. The point is we cannot wait, because we are now at the risk of not qualifying for the World Cup. And whereas we are in a very weak group. If you can't beat teams like Benin Republic, and in Uyo here, we needed luck. We could have been beaten at home by South Africa. They've not done that to the Super Eagles. They've never done that to the Super Eagles. So I think that it was a good thing for him to go. Otherwise, it would have been ideal to sack him and send him packing. And then he's not taking responsibility for what happens. He's blaming other people. He's even blaming somebody who did not feature in his games. So a good coach should accept responsibility for setbacks, not turn against your own players. Although I would say that I didn't like the way Osimhen spoke. Osimhen spoke like as if there's no difference between him and Portable. You know, he was using all kinds of gutter language. I expected him to be far more responsible than to open his mouth in that manner. But at the same time, when somebody lies against you, you can really get angry. But Osimhen overreacted. But I think Finidi had to go. It's a good decision to leave. We'll be able to reorganize ourselves and find a better coach.
All right, thank you. But Emeka, how bad is it that we cannot find a homegrown coach for our national teams?
Yeah, well, there are many sides to the issue. You know, yes, we have someone we can still try. Amuneke, we can still give him a chance, because if we bring in a foreign coach at this time, you know, it will take some time to understudy the team, tactics and all of that. And then, you know, to also assess the players and all of that. But I think as a stopgap, if they can bring in Amuneke, why they are searching for a foreign coach? Because it's not just something you go into a supermarket and just pick on the shelves. You know, then again, the NFF also, I think Finidi felt demoralized, you know, that the announcement came out that the NFF had started shopping for a replacement, even while he was still in that saddle, you know. So, yes, if he had to go, but I think I believe that things could have been organized. It could have been better organized. You know, because we've even seen the best coaches in the world, you know, I mean, have bad days and get fired. You know, so I think yes, if they have to pick Amuneke as a stopgap measure,
all right,
you know, yes, it wouldn't be, it's something worth trying. Yes.
We can end it there. And we really hope that the Super Eagles qualify for the World Cup.
We hope so.
Let me thank my guest, Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Thank you so much for joining us from Abuja. Thank you. Dr. Oladipo Emeka Madinago, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your perspective on the program.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you very much for watching, everyone. That's all on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of the program at 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatuji. Once again, happy Eid al-Kabir celebration again, and God bless Nigeria.